Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome, senior students of the commercial section in الهداية الخليفية Secondary School and everywhere else. This is Mr. Samir Abdelhamid, and I'm here with you today to have a general final revision of the course Business Goals 3, that is eng215. I hope you are going to enjoy it. Before starting the lesson, you need the following. Number one, your eng215 Business Goals 3 course book. Number two, your English notebook. Number three, your stationery. For example, pen, pencil, eraser, some papers, and so on. And please mute your mic and use the chat box to ask any questions. And here we go. The first thing we are going to have an idea about is the exam format. How many questions are there? How many marks are there for each question and such things. We are going to have one listening one, that's going to be 5 marks. Then listening 2, 5 marks also. Followed by reading 1, 10 marks. Reading 2, another 10 marks, and finally you have one writing and it has 10 marks as well. They are all together 40 marks. As you know, your final quiz is made up of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions, 2 listenings, 2 readings, 1 writing, and it is 40 marks altogether. And here we go. Let's have some exam tips. Let's start talking about the listening and reading, and then we go into details about the most important part, which is writing. As for listening and reading, please note down these important tips. Read ahead. What do you mean by reading ahead? By reading ahead, I mean that you read the questions before you go to the answers, or before you do the listening or read the text itself and the reading comprehension. Sorry. This is going to help you decide what type of information you're looking for before you start. And this is going to make you save time and effort a lot. Try to guess answers. When you have a question, try to guess what is missing, what is needed right here. Does the question require me to write a name of a thing or a place or a person? Does it require writing a number of money, for example, your commercial students, an amount of money or a number of employees or whatever, etc. So reading ahead and trying to guess answers helps you get easily to the correct answer. This is an example from a previous exam. It was a listening one, and it says write one word only in each blank. Well, and you've got 2 blanks in number 1 and 1 blank in number 2. Let's read it together and find out. Let's guess what is missing here. What do we need to write in each of these spaces or blanks? Number 1 says 2 of Nestle famous products are. So he's talking about that famous company, Nestle, and he needs the names of 2 products of this famous company. I'm not making an advert right here, but you all know that company and its products. For example, the very famous 2 products that most of us use from this company is Nescafe and Nido. Nescafe, the instant coffee, and Nido, which is the instant milk powder. Well, number 2, the head office of the company is in the head office, the headquarters. So I'm talking about a place right here. So where is it? I can guess that it is going to be the name of a city, the name of a country, the name even of a continent, if it is very general. I go back here to the listening track or to the reading text and find out what did it say? Did it say the city itself, Rome, Paris, London, or whatever, or the country where this city is, the UK, the US, the Netherlands, Germany, or whatever, or even it is very general. I'm talking about the continent, so it is in Europe or in America, in Asia, in Africa, and so on. This tells you that reading ahead and guessing the right answer helps you get easily to that answer. Next, if you get lost, keep calm and move forward. It is very normal to find some questions that are not that easy for you, that you need to think about. It's okay. If you have got something that is a little bit difficult, leave it aside right now and keep calm. Don't get, let me say, stressed or unfocused, because this is going to make you lose time and effort, in fact, and move forward. Put it aside and move forward right now. And then when you have time, go back to these questions that you have missed. Listen again. And the listening, you have listening again, and to check your answers and answer questions that you have missed. And of course, in reading, you can read the text and go back reading it and so on. This is very important. In true or false questions, a statement is true when it is completely. I highlighted the word completely here. Why? Because it is very important. It should be completely correct. Every single word in the sentence should be correct in order to label it as true. Okay? According to the listening track or to the reading text. Well, even if there is only one incorrect word, the statement is false. So if the whole line is correct except only one word, you are going to label it as false. It can't be true unless it is 100% true. Okay? It should be correct. And note something, it should be correct according to the text, not according to what you know, not according to your previous knowledge. No, we judge the statement in true or false according to what we listen in the listening to, and according to the reading and the reading comprehension. Let's have an example about that. This is the example. Email has become very common nowadays as it is easy to use and free. This is true. Every sentence, every word in that sentence is correct. So the sentence is true. If there is a little bit change in it like this, email has become very common nowadays as it is easy to use and cheap. One word only has changed, which is cheap. Email is not cheap, email is free. This very little word made that whole sentence a false sentence, because email is free, it is not cheap. We don't pay for using Gmail or Yahoo Mail or Hotmail or whatever. Okay, so that is it. It should be completely correct in order to label it as true. Let's move on. Be careful with numbers. This is especially for listening. I know you're grown-ups, you're adults, but however, there are some students still now who have difficulty in differentiating between 15, 1-5, and 50, 50, 17 and 70, 19 and 90. Okay, so please remember that the number that ends in teen always has 1 in it. 15 has 1, 1-5. 17 has 1, 1-7. 19 has 1, 1-9. Okay, when it is 90, 70, 40, 30, when it is just T, not teen, it has a 0 in it. Okay, this is just to remind you of it. Now, we come to the most important part, the writing part of our exam. We have got a number of writing topics in your course book, and they are We had the very first one was an invitation email. That's an email that you write to invite someone to attend a meeting, to attend an event in your company, or so on. Number 2, a covering letter. A covering letter is a letter of application. That's another name for it. A covering letter is a letter that you write to apply for a job. The question usually goes like that. You have an advert for a job vacancy and you are asked to write a covering letter or a letter of application to apply for that job. Next, a delegating email. A delegating email is an email that you write to ask someone in your company to do something in your place, to go for a trip in your place, to attend a meeting in your place, and so on. Number 4, a feedback email. This is an email that you write to someone in your company, and you're a senior right now, he's a junior to you, and you are giving him feedback about his work in a specific project or in a specific task that he has to do. Okay, that's a feedback email. Number 5, a chart report. You are very common with this right now. You already had it in your mainstream courses. 101, 102, 201, 202, 301, 302. All these courses have the chart report. This is where you have a chart, a graph. It could be a line graph or a bar graph or a pie graph, or it could be even a table with data, with information about a specific topic, and you need to transfer the information, the data, and the graph into a report. But this time it is not going to be a long report like the mainstream courses. There you have to write about 150 to 250 words. Here it is very short. It could be at least 70 to 100 words only. And finally, you have to write an advert. Here you have got 1 or 2 items, and you're asked to choose one of them and make an advert for it. Make an advert for it. What are the details about these? This is what we are going to do in the next step. Let's go. Number 1, writing an invitation email. This is a question from a previous exam. This is a sample of a question from a previous exam. It reads, you are the director of a big company in Manama, and your name is Mr. or Mrs. J. Al-Ali. Miss Elaine Simon is going to be the new human resources manager at your company. She is going to visit your office tomorrow to learn more about your company and meet all the staff. Write an email to all staff, around 50 words explaining. Remember, you don't have to write long writings in business writings, as you know. Here you are required to write only around 50 words. It could be 60, could be 65, something like that. And here are the points you need to cover. Who she is, who is coming to visit the company and have a short meeting with all the staff. What the meeting will be about, the topic of the meeting. Saying when she will be in the office, the time. Asking staff to introduce themselves to her and what the staff should do when she comes. They have to introduce themselves. So let's now have a model answer for this question. And it goes like that. From jalali@company.com to staff@company.com. Subject, meeting with new HR manager. And it goes like that. Dear staff. Well, we usually use dear all the time instead of the informal hi or hello, because we are generally using formal or semi-formal language when we are writing a business email. We don't use informal language, as you know. Informal style is not common right there. Even if you are writing to your colleague in the company, you use semi-formal language. You don't write to him the way you write to your friend, for example. Okay? Dear staff, the first paragraph goes like that. I would like to thank every one of you for your hard work. during the last quarter. So he is starting by thanking the people working with him for something they have achieved. And then comes the main body of the email. As you all know, Miss Elaine Simon is going to be the new human resources manager. Now he is building a background about it. He told them about the name of the lady who's coming, Elaine Simon, and he told them that you know that she is going to be the human resources manager of our company. And then he goes to the most important part. Hence, I am pleased to inform you that she's going to visit my office tomorrow. So that's the time, and this is the place, in his office, and tomorrow, to learn more about the company and to meet all the staff. She's going to meet them all. The meeting will be held in my office again. Again, he is assuring them, telling them exactly about the place in my office tomorrow. That's the day at 9:30, and that's the time. So you tell them the place, the date, and the time. With your sincere efforts, I'm sure the meeting will be a success. This is a very simple compliment in the end, urging the staff to be sincere, to be good enough during that meeting to make it a success. All the best. This is how we end usually a formal email. And then his name, Mr. J. Alali. Okay, so that is writing one, an invitation email. And then, of course, I'm sorry, in the end, you have to add your own title at work. He said that you are the managing director. You write MD or managing director. Now, writing two, a covering letter. And as I told you, it goes like that. You have an advertisement like this from a newspaper, from the internet, or from anywhere, and you have to read it carefully and write a covering letter to apply for the job. It goes like that. Read the advertisement and write a covering letter. This time it is a little bit longer than the previous one. You have to write about 80 words. Applying for the job. Your name is Alex Jones. You have to use the name given in the exam paper. Is Jones, Mr. Jones or Alex Jones, and your address is P.O. Box 147 London. That's your address. You're going to use it when you're writing. And the advertisement goes like that. Achievement International School. So it's a school. That's the name of the institution that requires employees. P.O. Box 5810, Manama, Bahrain. This is the address of the school in Manama, Bahrain. Teacher assistant required. This is the job required. It's a teacher assistant. The school is looking for an English teacher assistant. The following requirements are essential. Let's look at essential very carefully. Essential means you have to do that. It's a must. Okay? So when you're writing your covering letter, you have to use all these criteria that are written in the advert and say that you already have them to be, let me say, eligible to the job, to be suitable for the job. At least 3 years of experience. Ability to prepare activities for the subject. Know how to deal with small kids. Motivated and energetic. So we have something about the experience, 3 years of experience. We have something about abilities. You have the ability to prepare activities for students. Skills, you know how to deal with the small kids, and personal traits, that is motivated and energetic. Let's see a model of that so that we can understand how it goes when you're writing a covering letter. It goes like that. You start, if you are doing a paper exam, of course we're doing electronic exams right now and you're not going to have to do it that way, but let's have an idea about it. On top and to the right of the paper, you write the address of you yourself. Okay, so that's your address. PO Box 147 London, and your email is alex.jones@yahoo.com. So of course I made it up. It wasn't there in the question, but I just made it alex.jones@soandso.com. And then you have to write the name and the address of the institution you're writing to. That's the school, but now you change the place to the left. You shift to the left, okay? Well, Achievement International School, PO Box so-and-so Manama, that's in Bahrain, and the date should follow. It is the 5th of May, which is tomorrow's date, the 5th of May, 2021. And then we start our letter, our email. Letter or email, it is the same. Dear sir or madam, if I don't know the name of the person I'm writing to, I use dear sir or madam. If the name is mentioned in the question, I use it. Just like the previous one. The previous one, we had the name, which is Mr. Jasim Al-Ali or something, J. Al-Ali, okay? If I have the name, I use it. If I don't, I use dear sir or madam. And then I go. How many paragraphs will be there? What should be written in each paragraph? This is what we are going to discover in a while. The first paragraph. I would like to apply for the job of English teacher assistant advertised in this week's teacher's post. Very short and very precise. You go to the point. The first paragraph in a covering letter is where you state the purpose of writing. Why are you writing? Why are you writing this letter? To apply for the job of so-and-so. And you need to mention, how did you know about it? So you have seen it advertised in this week's teacher's post, the name of a newspaper. And here comes the second paragraph. I have worked as a teacher assistant in Gulf International School for 3 years. Remember, in the question, it said that you have to have 3 years of experience. And here you use it and say that you already have this number of years of experience. I am, remember, we don't use short, let me say, contractions or short forms. It's not I am, it's I am. It's not I have, it's I have, and so on. I am very interested in teaching and am keen to pursue my career in this area or in that area. Okay, so that's another short paragraph where you are talking about your previous experience. So purpose of writing and then previous experience. Paragraph 3. I am self-motivated and energetic. Again, it is taken from the question. The question said you have to be self-motivated and energetic, and you say that you are like that. You are self-motivated and energetic. I know how to deal with small kids as I have good communication skills. Now he started to talk about his skills. And again, you take from the question and say that you already have these skills. So you started by personal traits in paragraph 3, and then your abilities or your skills. I'm sorry, your skills. You have skill to communication skills. I also have good computer skills, another skill, computer, so I can prepare activities for the subject. I have a degree in teaching English from Oxford University, and you ended up with your qualifications, your degree. So in the third paragraph, there are 3 things you have to mention. Your personal traits, and then your experience, your skills, I'm sorry, there are 4, your skills, and finally your qualifications. Let's move to the next paragraph. Kindly find enclosed my CV. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you require any further information. This is how you end up your covering letter. Sorry. By referring to your CV, which is enclosed, attached to the letter, and then you ask the receiver of your letter to contact you if they need any further information. Note that we are using formal style, highly formal style right here. It's not like the previous one. The previous one was semi, because it is the manager of a company writing to his staff. Now you are writing to the HR of a company or the manager of a company. You need to be very polite. You need to be very formal. I look forward to hearing from you. This is how we end. And then yours faithfully plus your name, Alex Jones. Well, you remember I said when you don't know the name of the person you're writing to, you use sir or madam, and you end up with faithfully, yours faithfully. What if you know the name of the person? It's going to be different. If you know the person, you are going to use his name. Dear, with the correct title, with the suitable title, Mr. or Ms. or Doctor or Professor or whatever. Dear Mr. Al-Sheikh. Well, and that way you are going to change that ending also. The signing off is going to be different. It's going to be yours sincerely. Yours sincerely. So again, if you know the name, you write the name in the beginning, dear Mr. So-and-so, and you end up with yours sincerely. If you don't know, you use dear sir or madam, and you end with yours faithfully. Okay? Well, so we're done with the covering letter. Now, our writing number 3 is the delegating email. And this is another question taken from one of the previous exams. You are Charlie Thomas. The examiner told you about your name. What is your name? Charlie Thomas, a marketing manager working for an international organization. You have arranged a business trip to New York next week. So he's giving you information. You plan to go to New York next week, but unfortunately, for some reason, you are too busy to travel. You can't travel. And you want your assistant manager to travel in your place. You want somebody else, in that case, it is your assistant manager, to travel in your place. What are you going to do right now? Write an email, and it should be about 80 words. Again, I told you, all our writings are below 100 words. It cannot reach 100 words, from 50 to 100 maximum. This one is required to be about 80 words. It could be 80, 75, 85, 90 if you write more, and so on. To your assistant manager, Hala Ali, he gives you the name of the one you are going to delegate in your place. Considering the following, and you need to cover these points in your email to her. Requesting that she goes on the trip. You request her to go in your place in that trip. Explaining the purpose of the trip. And then you tell her what she's going to do exactly during the trip. What is the task she's going to do. And telling her to write a report when she gets back. And ask her to write you a report about the meeting or the trip or the whatever she's going to do away in New York. As usual, let's have a look over a model answer for this question. It goes like that. From C. Thomas, that's the name of the person. As you said, it was Charlie Thomas or something, at company.com. To hala.alali@company.com. Subject, New York business trip. You took it from the question. What is it about? It is about the New York business trip. And here we go. Dear Hala. So, you know, it is semi-formal again because it is from a senior to a junior. So he can use a semi-formal language. He doesn't need to be very formal when he's talking to someone who is under his own management. Dear Hala, he didn't use any title. He didn't say Dear Ms. Al-Ali, if she's Hala Al-Ali, or Dear Ms. Ali, or whatever. So he used first names and just Dear. How are you? This is a very common and informal, let me say, start. I hope everything is going well. But here, we're not writing an email to a friend so we can go into more details about chatting and such stuff. No, this is just the beginning. This is the introduction. How are you? I hope everything is well. And then he goes to the point. As you know, I had arranged to go on a business trip to New York next week, but unfortunately, I have another important engagement that makes it impossible to travel. I wonder if you could go in my place. So he gave her a background about what's going on, and then he asked her to do something in his place, to go to that trip on his place. I hope I am that Hala, so I can go to New York. In case you accept, you are going to have a meeting with the manager of Xerox in New York. And he told her about what? What is the task? What is the task she's going to do exactly? She's going to have a meeting with the manager of a company. That company is Xerox in New York to discuss our future markets in the USA. So who is she going to meet and what is it going to be about? Then another thing, Hala, informal as I told you, because it is a senior writing to a junior or subordinate. Another thing, Hala, please send me a report after you get back from New York, asking her to write a report and send it to him. Let me know if you accept, and asks her to give him feedback if it is okay with her to go on his place or not. All the best, ending that semi-formal delegating email, and the name Mr. Charlie Thomas, and of course his title, his job title, marketing manager. Well, let's move to writing 4, a feedback email. This is a question taken from one of the previous exams. Your name is Hassan Ali. You are the project manager of a standard company, a name of a company, a virtual name, of course, an imaginary name. Ahmed Majid worked for you on the DX101 project. Of course, this is again an imaginary code of a project. He asked you to give him feedback on his performance in the project. So you're asked as a manager to write a feedback report, a feedback on the performance of Mr. Ahmed Majid on a project called DX101. Write a feedback email to Ahmed. This is your task. What you are going to do, you're going to write a feedback email to Ahmed. Include the following points, and these are the points you have to cover. Hard work over budget, all deadlines met, communication among staff was not that good. So if you can see, there were 2 good points and 2 bad points. The good point is hard work and meeting the deadlines, and the bad points were that he went over budget, he used more money than was expected, and the communication among staff was not that good. They didn't have good communication with each other. Let's see how we can turn this into a feedback email. Here is the model as usual. Dear Ahmed, talking to a subordinate or a junior. You don't need to use titles like Mr. and so on. Dear Ahmed. The first paragraph. Thank you for your hard work on the DX101 project. Thanking him in the very beginning. It proved successful despite all the problems. This project was successful. I'm sorry for shifting to Arabic. Well, the project was successful, and although there were some problems, you asked for some feedback. So here are some thoughts. Of course, you can discuss them with me. This is very important in the very beginning of the feedback email. You tell him that you are going to give him your feedback, and you tell him that he can discuss them with you. This is not final. This is how I look at the things. and if you have got any explanation or justification, we can talk about it, we can discuss it. We are pleased that all the deadlines were met. One good point. But the problem is that you went over the budget. But there is a bad point, of course. You need to control the finances better in the next project. This is very important. The structure of the paragraph goes like that. One good point, and then one bad point, and then a suggestion to overcome that problem, that bad points that you have done. You get it? So each paragraph should have one good point, it's okay, and then one bad point, and it shouldn't stop here. You should go on and give a suggestion on how to modify that in the next project, how to work on it, how to develop, to be a positive critic, positive criticism. You are giving him guidance to correct, to modify, to improve his work in the next project. Okay, next. Moreover, the staff felt that communication among them was not good. Another bad point right here, and it should be followed also by a suggestion of improvement. I hope you will find a solution for that. You need to work on that, communication among the staff. I hope you are not angry with my comments. Ending up and being polite enough, asking him not to be angry about the negative feedback. Let me know your opinion about them. If you have got any explanation or any justification for these two bad points, please tell me about them. Let me know about them. And finally, it is regards or all the best, can be the same, and the name of the person who wrote that email of feedback. Let's move to number 5. Oh, this is the hard one, a chart you bought. However, you have been through it several times in your mainstream courses, so I think it's going to be easier for you. You have a chart like this with bars, numbers. You have two axes, the vertical and the horizontal ones, with information about different things. And here it goes like that. Look at the information about mobile phone ownership in the UK for 2001-2003. This is very old, I know, but it is taken from an example, or yeah, it was an example in your book. You need to use this information from 0 to 1 and the age groups, and you have the key. The blue one is for 2001, the red one for 2003, and here are the age groups from 15 to 24, 25 to 34, 35 to 44, 45 to 54, and so on until you reach 75 and over. Okay, and this is for all adults aged 15 and over. This is for all. This is the average for all these. Okay, well, let's see how we turned it into a report. It goes like that. This bar chart, you need to tell what type of chart is it. Is it a bar chart or a line chart or a pie chart or whatever? Well, this bar chart shows the number of adults who own mobile phones in the UK between 2001 and 2003. These are the data you get from the question itself. You say the time span 2001, 2003, and you say, what is it about? It is about mobile phone ownership. The percentages are shown according to different age groups, and how are we going to classify them? They are classified according to males and females, for example, or people who live in the city and people who live in the villages, or according to the age. So it is according to age groups. About 2/3, I'm sorry for that. Okay. About 2/3 of people, that's almost 36 or 37 people of the people in the UK owned a mobile phone in 2001. And the age groups with the highest percentage of mobile phone owners were not surprisingly the youngest ages. Ages between 15 and 24 and 25 and 34. Both over 80% of the population. So according to the graph that we have already seen, it shows that the majority are the younger people between 15 and 34. And their percentage was 80%. The number of mobile phone owners rose, playing by 2003, with about 75% of the population owning a mobile phone. So I don't get what is playing right here again. I'm so sorry for that. I need to edit it. Okay, so it just rose, so and so. There was an increase of ownership in all age groups. So here, all age groups witnessed a type of going up or increase. But by far, the biggest rise was in the oldest age groups. The biggest rise. This is because they were very few in the very beginning. So when they changed that, the change was big. More than half of all people between 65 and 74 owned a mobile phone, with this group showing the biggest rise, up from about 40% to over 50%. And nearly a quarter of people over 75 now own a mobile phone, with this group increasing from 15 to 25. This is the numbers in details. Okay, so this is the chart, and again, it shouldn't be long. It's about 100 words, as I told you before. Well, let's move to the final writing we have got. Writing an advert. This is a question from a previous exam, as usual, and as I told you, there will be two products, and you need to choose one of them to make an advert about. Write an advertisement for one of the following products. You have to write between 50 and 80 words. You have a printer, that is New Brother XML printer photocopier, or a laptop, an HP Studio XPS laptop. You choose one of the two items, the two products, and make an advert about. I have already made two examples, one about the printer and the other about the laptop. Let's see them. That's the printer at first. You should start by a catchy title. It should be very interesting to catch the eyes of the readers. Okay, easier printing than ever. It should be a slogan like that, saying something that would make people more interested or more, let me say, just wait a minute, please. Okay. As I said, easier printing, and then a question that would get people more interested. Do you need reliable office equipment? Here is the new Japanese printer photocopier, Brother XML. It can print over 135 colors. Printing is of a very high quality. It is easy to use. Brother XML prints on different sizes of paper, A3, A4, etc. It can photocopy 200 copies a minute. Place your order now. The stock is very limited. Brother XML is now available in 3 colors, black, blue, and white. You give all the required information about the product after, let me say, grabbing the reader's eyes, catching his eyes, and then giving him the important information. Then you need to tell where, which place can the customer get that product. So now available at Sharaf DG, and you give the number or the online website or whatever. Call, for example, this is a fake number, of course, 176-418-41, or buy online at, and you give a website for it, www.sharafdg.com. Hurry up. You end up with something that will make people want to have that product. What are you waiting for? Again, free delivery anywhere in Bahrain. And then the second one, the laptop, which is the last for today. The latest technology at hand. Again, a catchy title. Are you fed up with your big old computer? Making questions that will make people more interested. Yes, I am. I don't like that desktop. It is big and it is slow and so on. Do you want to save more space in your room? Here is the best solution for you. HP Studio XPS laptop, the latest American technology. And then you go into details about the product. This laptop will change your life. HP Studio XPS laptop has a wide HD screen. It also has some multimedia buttons that can take you to other worlds with only a click. It is quite slim, so it is not heavy. It is slim. It is light. Moreover, it has a durable speaker system, so you will not have problems with the sound anymore. It has a super camera, the camera as well, so the sound as well and the camera as well too. HP Studio XPS laptop is available in 4 colors. You have a variety of colors: black, gray, white, and pink. HP laptop is now available at only 220 BD. You can buy it at Sharaf DG stores or call so-and-so to pre-order. So that's the second one, which was the laptop. By that, we have come to the end of the writings and to the end of this revision session. I've got some tips for you when you're doing any exam. Closing remarks. Test taking tips. You need to be sure that you do these things when you are doing a test. Any test, not just English tests. Take a deep breath and relax. Don't be irritated, don't be worried, don't be stressed during the exam. This is going to help you when you take a deep breath and relax. This will help you focus on, concentrate. Read all the directions carefully. This is very important. Read the directions in each question, the rubric, very carefully, and then you follow them and go on. Read the questions carefully. Read each question carefully. Make sure you understand what is being asked. Before you start writing, before you start answering, make sure that you really understand what you have to do. Try to understand, make sure that you understand the task. And waste your time. Look at all multiple choice questions. Sorry, there was something with the internet. We're back anyway. Look at all the choices, A, B, C, and D. Don't just think that the right answer is A, so you choose A. No, please go over them all, the 4 of them, and then decide. You may, again, make sure after reading the 4 that A is the correct answer, and you click it or you underline it or you choose it, whatever. But please don't rush to choosing the first option you have. Read the 4 or 3 options that there are. Eliminate the answers that you know are wrong when you are again in MCQ or multiple choice questions. If you don't know the right answer, try to eliminate the ones that you are sure they are wrong, and then you'll get to the right answer, inshallah. Check your work for accuracy. Don't just finish and submit. No. When you finish, go over the questions again and check if you have done everything the right way. Check your work for accuracy. And always do your best.